Next. Next.
Tell me you remember. I bet you remember. Tell me you remember. I bet you remember. Remember.
Hey guys, it is your girl Chatty Patty, and you are tuned in to A Chat with Pat. Okay, so today I'm probably really loud, and then I'm in my dining room and it's a little empty in here, so it echoes. Let me bring it down a little bit. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about why I am grateful for my exes. Yes, you heard that right. Even you lurking, I'm grateful for you too. Okay, boo, I see you. I know you be on my stuff. Hey, honey. But all jokes aside, I really am grateful for my exes. This whole thing came about because a couple weeks ago, I wanted to do a video. And I was going to say something along the lines of, all my exes are trash. See, God didn't like that. No, God didn't like that. That was real ugly. I was thinking about doing a video where I was going to say something along the lines of, all my exes are trash, right? But then I had some conversations. I had a conversation with my mother about, my dating habits. I had a conversation with my ex-husband. I had a conversation with my ex-husband about my dating habits, and I had a conversation with a good girlfriend of mine about my dating habits. And the one thing that came out of that is, if these men that I'm dating are trash, then I'm the trash can. It was like a hard truth for me to accept that I'm not perfect, and that there is something in me that keeps attracting the type of men that I was attracting. Some were more wrong than others, I'll say that. Yeah, I have to say, it's my fault. It is my fault. I kept jumping back out there, not healing myself properly, not really knowing what I was looking for. I realized that I had some work to do internally because I kept, getting over somebody and jumping back out there and dating somebody else, and then falling back into the same trap, dating someone who had the same characteristics as the last person that I dated, and then me feeling like they never really measured up to what I felt a man should provide, what a man should look like, and how a man should treat me overall. Which I must say, my ex-husband did set a very, very high bar for that. The other thing is, God is funny, right? So I thought that, okay, I dated someone, it didn't work out. Let me pray on it. I'm going to pray. All right, God, send me a man. Let him be, 6'1", chocolatey, artistic, outgoing. And then God will send me something like that, right? Send me what I asked for. But then there are like these other characteristics that are mixed in there that I didn't ask for. So I'm like, ooh, return the sender. No. Not that one. Okay, God, close. We almost there, right, God? Okay, work with me, Lord. All right, so send me something similar to that, but add, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and let him be outgoing and kind and caring and have the gift of gab. And then God will send me somebody, right? And it would be very close to what I asked for. It probably would be spot on to what I asked for, actually. But then it would be all these other things that came along with it that I didn't ask for. And I'm like, okay, I'm asking for the wrong thing. So let me tell you what I learned from my exes after stepping back and evaluating the situation from outside. There's a couple of things. Number one, after a relationship, you need to take time to heal. I kept jumping right back out there dating because I wanted to have this power couple relationship, and I wanted to be with someone that I felt like we were lifting each other up, and he got my back, I got his back. That's what I was searching for, but I wasn't right. I wasn't whole. So I'm coming into a relationship, wanting to offer all these things, but I'm pouring from an empty cup. So I really don't have much to contribute by way of support and all of that. This is what I want to do, but I'm pouring from an empty cup. And I'm a people pleaser. So I keep pouring from my empty cup into someone else who also has an empty cup. So what does that do? That depletes me, right? So I wasn't healing. And because I wasn't healing, I kept attracting broken people left and right. I'm broken, they broken, we broken together, trying to put these puzzle pieces together. We missing a couple pieces, we just duct taping it together. No, Fix you first. That's the number one thing that I learned about this whole situation. Fix you first. Heal you first. Whatever is meant for you is not going to pass you by. Whatever God has for you, you are not going to miss it. You don't have to keep trying to grab something thinking it's going to pass you by if you don't act now. If it's for you, it's going to be for you regardless. What else I learned is not every connection is meant to be romantic. So I had a friend who was very chivalrous, very generous, kind, and all of that. And we were really good friends, and he was a listener. And I thought, okay, well, if our friendship is this good, what would a relationship look like? Not every connection that you have with somebody needs to be romantic. Sometimes people need to be left in the friend zone. Sometimes you need to trust your gut, you need to trust your instincts and leave them right there in the friend zone. Don't let them creep out. You don't need to pull people out of the friend zones to test out and see what's going to happen. Because what happens is, sometimes when you do that and you try to pull someone out of your friend zone to see if there's a romantic connection, it ends, and then you lose the friendship as well. Stop falling in love with potential. Oh my God. Okay, this is really high up there too, right? When you fall in love with someone's potential, you're doing yourself a disservice and you're doing that person a disservice. Falling in love with potential is selfish. It's a very selfish act. Because you're telling somebody that you're holding them to a standard that they never even agreed to meet in the first place, right? So you need to love people where they are, for who they are in the moment. Yes, it's awesome to see, recognize, and acknowledge someone's potential, but falling in love with potential is problematic. You put unnecessary pressure on your relationship and on your partner when you do that. I'm a planner, so I like to have everything laid out. Okay, this is what I want to do next, and after that I'm going to do this, and I want to look at my partner and say, okay, and this is where you are, and this is how your path aligns with my path, so we're going in the same direction. I see the potential in a guy, and I want him to merge into my lane, right? So that we can go in the same direction, but he's a little behind me maybe. Or maybe he's veering off somewhere and going somewhere else and taking a detour. It's not on me to pull him in and say, okay, you need to follow this path. Everybody has their own path. So I had learned to love people where they are, and that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm the best fit for them. I may love someone, but if I can see that you aren't gonna end up where I want to be when our paths meet at the end, or maybe they don't meet at the end, but when we get further down the road, if where you're going and where I want to go are not aligned, I'm not gonna put pressure on you to get in my lane. I'm going to love you and tell you, because I love you, I want what's best for you and I want you to be happy, and I'm not the best person for you. The last thing I learned was that I'm not perfect. It's really tough because I'm a perfectionist. But this time last year, I wrote, well, maybe a little longer than that. I wrote an article for my blog, and I talked about, not knowing what the hell I'm doing. I had put on this facade for Facebook, for Instagram, for Twitter, Snapchat, just for, social media. I wanted everybody to see, look, I've got a house, and I've got a car, and look at my great kids, and look at my awesome career. But I had debt. I suffered from depression. Emotionally, I was broken. Spiritually, I was broken. I was angry. I lacked confidence. There were just so many things behind the scenes that were going on that I kept taking these pretty pictures, and I wanted everyone to see these pretty pictures, but nobody was getting the real me. And so when I cracked that open in that blog, and I talked about, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, I was flying by the seat of my pants. I was just trying to figure it out. And so knowing that and acknowledging that I'm not perfect, as much as I want to be perfect, as much as I want to have it together, as much as I want to show y'all my big beautiful house and pretend like I'm not struggling with these bills to keep the lights on in this nice ass house. I'm not. I struggle. I have issues. I have things that I need to resolve, you know. And so for me to put pressure on a man in a relationship, for him to be perfect, for him to be the epitome of what I think a man is, and I'm still getting it right as to what I think a woman should be, or, you know, what my role should be in a relationship. I'm still learning and I'm still getting it right. That's unfair. Of course, there are some basic things that I will no longer overlook when it comes to dating. And I think that that's fair, but I can't expect perfection when I'm not perfect. And that's a real honest thing, you know, and that's something that's really hard for a lot of us to acknowledge about ourselves, and to look internally and accept, okay, you know, I've got some things I need to work on. I keep attracting some of these things because a piece of that is what I am. And that's not always true. I do dislike when people say you attract what you are and say that as a blanket statement or, you know, a generalization. One of my girlfriends recently said, you know, it's not always that you attract what you are. Sometimes you're a light and you attract a moth, you know, and people are attracted to energy. So while I do recognize that I had some things that I was putting out that I was also attracting, I also recognize that there is a light in me, and there are a lot of people who are attracted to that light, and I need to be careful and filter out who really needs to be in my life. And so I'm working on that. But I didn't learn these things until I looked back and evaluated some of the relationships that, you know, I had found myself in, and why they kept failing, and why I kept ending up dating the same type of men. Like, they were just coming in different packages, but internally it was the same man. I swear to you, it was tall, short, light, dark, but it was the same man. And then I realized it's me, and I have to work on me, and I'm okay with that now. So if you have any experience, you know what I'm talking about, you can relate on any level, come on and comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and make sure you tune in for the next Chat with Pat. Thanks, guys. Love you.
Tell me you remember. I bet you remember. Tell me you remember. I bet you remember. Remember. I bet you